For decades, Montego Bay's skyline has hardly changed. A few hotels, some low-rise apartments, and miles of open coast. But right now, on a slim peninsula just outside the city, 4 glass towers are climbing into the sky, 28 stories each. US $350 million. The tallest residential buildings in Jamaica. Here's the thing. One-bedroom units start at almost $500,000 US. Penthouses go over US $6.5 million. On one side of this peninsula, you have glass towers and US $6 million penthouses. On the other side, communities still dealing with basic infrastructure challenges. If you've ever dreamed of coming back home to Jamaica, this project is probably already in your Instagram feed. And 75% of buyers? Not even living in Jamaica. The Prime Minister calls it a game changer that will bring a new level of development to the island. Environmental groups see 4 exclusive towers rising between a protected marine park and a fragile lagoon. So today, we're going inside Jamaica's tallest towers. Who's really buying? What these prices mean? And whether this is the start of a new skyline or proof that Jamaica is being built for everybody except Jamaicans. This is inside the Pinnacle Mega Project in Montego Bay. By the end of this video, you'll have to decide, is this Jamaica's future or a fantasy only a few can ever touch? Welcome to Evolve Jamaica. If you're new here, we break down the mega projects reshaping our island from Pedro Plains to Spanish Town to Portmore. Today, we're heading to Mo Bay's coastline, and this one's different. So first, where is this thing, and what are we actually looking at? The Pinnacle sits on the Redding Peninsula, right outside downtown Montego Bay. Caribbean Sea on one side, protected lagoon on the other. Direct views over the Montego Bay Marine Park. Official groundbreaking, January 2024. Prime Minister Andrew Holness turned the first soil. 4 towers, 28 stories each, named after birds. Swallowtail, canary, hummingbird, phoenix. Combined, 423 residential units plus 15 luxury villas at ground level. But this isn't just apartments. You get a 15-slip private marina, a members-only club, sports facilities, a spa, restaurants, high-end shopping. It's designed to be a completely self-contained luxury ecosystem. And this is where it gets real. Tower 1 has already topped out, all 28 stories standing. When these towers finish, they won't just be the tallest in Jamaica. They'll be among the tallest residential buildings in the entire English-speaking Caribbean. This project literally changes the horizon line of Montego Bay. Let that sink in for a second. Now let's talk about how you actually build something like this, because this has never been done in Jamaica before. The chief architect is Azia Madden, a Jamaican architect creating what she calls a new Jamaican modernism. She describes the towers as crystalline sails over the water, designed to catch light and reflect the Caribbean. Floor-to-ceiling glass. Wrap-around balconies. 360-degree views. Whether you're facing the bay, the mountains, or the coast, you're always connected to the landscape. But here's the impressive part. These towers sit on a foundation that's basically a massive concrete raft 6 feet thick, poured with 6,000 psi concrete, reinforced with 350 tons of steel. That's what you need when you're going 28 stories up on coastal land. They've used advanced pile-driving technology that's new to Jamaica. LCH brought in specialized machines and trained Jamaican workers to operate them. So this project isn't just building towers, it's transferring construction knowledge that Jamaica hasn't had before. The Pegasus Hotel in Kingston has 17 stories and has been one of Jamaica's tallest buildings for decades. The Pinnacle is 11 stories taller. But here's my question. At what point does Jamaican architecture stop looking like Jamaica and start looking like Miami? These towers could be in Dubai, Singapore, and South Beach. Is that evolution, or are we losing something? I don't have the answer, but it's worth asking. All right, let's talk money. Because this is where the Pinnacle goes from impressive to completely out of reach. Current broker prices: 1 bedroom, US $480,000, 2 bedroom, US $700,000 to US $1.2 million, 3 bedroom, US $1.5 million, and penthouses over US $6.5 million. Let's ground this. US $480,000 is roughly 75 million Jamaican dollar. Average Jamaican salary? About $1 to $2 million per year. Even if you're a high earner making $10 million a year, you'd need to save your entire salary, no food, no rent, no bills for 7.5 years. Just for the cheapest unit. This is not a house in Jamaica money. This is buy a whole scheme money. Just sit with that number. And the numbers prove who this is really for. Over 280 units from the first 2 towers on the market. About 40% sold. Here's the key stat. Around 75% of buyers are international or diaspora. Jamaicans living in the US, Canada, and the United Kingdom. Foreign investors. Wealthy retirees. People who want a Caribbean vacation property. And here's the twist. 3 of the 4 towers allow short stay rentals. You buy a unit, put it in the hotel management program, and earn income when you're not there. If Jamaica's tourism keeps climbing, the returns could be significant. But for the average Jamaican, the teacher, the nurse, and the small business owner, this isn't just out of reach. It's on another planet. So the question becomes, who is Montego Bay really being built for? Now it's not all bad news. Let's talk about the economic upside because it's real. During construction, hundreds of direct jobs. Engineers, electricians, and plumbers. Plus all the spin-off work suppliers, trucking, and food vendors. And those skills I mentioned earlier, pile drivers, high-rise safety, advanced concrete techniques. That knowledge stays in Jamaica after this project wraps. Long-term, the towers need property managers, marina staff, restaurant workers, spa therapists, retail employees, and security. Potentially hundreds of permanent jobs tied directly to the Pinnacle. And this fits Jamaica's bigger tourism strategy. For years, Mobe has been dominated by all-inclusive resorts. Tourists arrive, stay inside a compound, leave. They don't spend money in the wider economy. The Pinnacle is part of repositioning Montego Bay as a luxury lifestyle city. A place where high-net-worth individuals want to live part-time, buy property, dock their yachts, and actually spend money in the local economy. On paper, that sounds perfect. In reality, projects like this put massive pressure on surrounding land values and rents. If wealthy buyers start moving in, local residents get priced out of their own neighborhoods. The Pinnacle sits right between the Montego Bay Marine Park and a protected lagoon. Coral reefs, mangroves, fish nurseries, and critical ecosystems. Environmental groups have raised serious concerns. Dredging for the marina could damage coral and marine life. Construction runoff could pollute the lagoon. Building here could weaken coastal resilience against hurricanes and rising seas. NEPA approved the project, but with strict conditions. These include waste management, dredging limits, environmental monitoring. LCH has promised sustainability, solar panels, rainwater harvesting, smart grids, eco-friendly parking. The brochure tells you that part. What it doesn't tell you is what local fishermen think about losing lagoon access. Or what it means when mile after mile of coastline gets walled off behind luxury towers and private clubs. Ordinary Jamaicans are getting jobs, yes. But are they losing the waterfront? There's no easy answer here. Development creates opportunity, but it also creates exclusion. And in a country where inequality is already massive, projects like the Pinnacle force us to ask, whose Jamaica is this? Let's zoom out. The Pinnacle isn't happening alone. It's part of a bigger wave. The Montego Bay Perimeter Road, Sangster Airport upgrades, new hotels, new marinas. Montego Bay is being repositioned as Tourism Capital 2.0, a city that can compete with Cancun, Miami, even Dubai. Best case, the Pinnacle succeeds, units sell. Wealthy residents and diaspora buyers pour money into the local economy. More developers follow. LCH keeps its promise to build more affordable housing elsewhere. Jobs multiply. Mo Bay becomes a genuine economic powerhouse. Worst case, the towers become ghost condos bought by investors who rarely visit. Environmental damage is worse than predicted. Locals watch luxury rise while they struggle with cost of living. The wealth gap widens. The Pinnacle becomes a symbol of everything wrong with Jamaica's development model. The truth? The Pinnacle is all of it at once. Ambition and risk, pride and fear, opportunity and inequality. It's a mirror held up to Jamaica, and what you see depends on where you're standing. We still have a say in what these projects mean. The question is whether we're going to use it. So here's what I want to know. If money wasn't an issue, would you live in the Pinnacle, yes or no? And more importantly, progress or problem? One word. If you live in Mo Bay, comment Mo Bay, and tell me how you feel seeing these towers go up. If this video taught you something, hit like so that YouTube shows it to more Jamaicans and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.